Clowns. One of my biggest fears since I was a kid. You never know who's hiding under the makeup of a jolly person. A maniac, a murderer, or a man who's been true enough. One day, I had to face my horror. A circus come to our city. A real circus. There are elephants and camels, even a fortune. Teller named Chara and here existing witches. As I read this announcement, I wondered what the circus was up to this time. The same troupe come to us every spring with a new program to pay tribute to one of their performances. A clown of sorts who was trapped during a performance. The troupe buried him in a local cemetery. Not far from their performance dome, there was a building near the cemetery that was incomplete. The city authorities had wanted to build a hospital there before, but perestroika began. There wasn't enough money and construction was frozen. But the strangest thing happened every time after the troupe left town. Children always played at the construction site. The place drew them to it like a magnet, as if someone invincible was calling the children to join him over and over again. Years passed. During that time, the unfinished hospital had spawned a lot of scary legends about how people who went in there went missing. And only when the troupe came back to town with another performance did the kidnappings end. So now that everyone was in the tent, I decided to take a look at the construction site I had heard so much about. At that time I thought, if today is the show, they am not a danger. How wrong I was. When I crept inside, I felt uncomfortable. The shadows that played in the light of my flashlight seemed to me like demons and ghosts. Every rustle was a message, and every whiff of wind was a touch that my hair went on end. After looking over all three doors of the hospital, I realized I had wasted my time. Then suddenly I heard a scream. A woman's high-pitched scream, which then turned into hysterical laughter. A man was loathing. He shouted that the old woman Jara was dead. And then I realized the circus was coming to town not to make money or to check the grave of one of his comrades, but to keep his distraught coasted by. But no one could stop him. The clown that died on the stage returned to it. I was trembling. I was on the third floor of the hospital. 3 floors that were in the way of my escape. I couldn't move, but I knew that if I didn't, I would be here forever. I took out of my flashlight and moved down the corridor toward the stairs. When out of the corner of my eye, I saw something swift and fast. It whizzed by me, but I didn't feel the gust of wind. I began to descend. It was only the last floor to freedom. My heart was beating like never before, and I quickened my pace as something suddenly turned me in the opposite direction of the exit. He was standing in front of me. He was wearing an orange jacket with a black crimped collar, black and white makeup with the red shadows under his eyes, which gave him resemblance to the devil himself. And just below his neck a throwing knife was sticking out with a dark stain around it. I looked straight into the face of the brat, and it was looking at me. It smiled, renewing its yellow, crooked teeth. As I looked closer at his face, I saw that he was decomposing, with little white worms crawling in his mouth and his right hand missing 2 fingers. He moved toward me, slowly and leisurely. He came close to me and started ripping my scalp off. I screamed and wriggled, but the clown didn't care. He kept tearing me apart, and when he was done with me, he started loathing. He loathed the kind of loath only clowns know how to loathe. You may ask, how do I tell you about it if I'm dead? It's very simple. The clown always sends me to tell stories to the people he's going to come after.
You're the next.